Welcome back. Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here on the all new radioonfire.com. Diamond K in the morning. Here on the show, we deliver the biggest political and trending news stories of the day with original reporting from across the country, emanating from our studios in Baltimore and Atlanta. The show is fun. The show is upbeat, but I have to expose what is really happening in this country. Radio on Fire is Black voices giving you the American story, and today is a sad day. We have sad news to report. Another rapper has passed on. Another rapper has passed on. Black Rob. You remember that whole early 2000 movement. The song Black Rob did called "Whoa" was a big hit in the clubs, big hit on the radio, mixtapes, that whole thing. That isn't the only song that he was a part of, obviously. But I guess roughly a week after the passing of DMX, we now, as a hip hop community, have to deal with and mourning the loss of another star. So Mario Winans posted something on IG about Black Rob passing away, and then it just kind of flowed from there. Mario producing for Black Rob, many of those bad boy records that I was just talking about. Posted that information, and last week when we were going through the whole mourning of DMX, we also saw a video surface of Black Rob in the hospital. Many people commenting on just the condition that the rapper was in. Caught many fans off guard, considering that we had not heard from or seen Black Rob, for quite some time. And then the next time we saw him, he was in the hospital and he was not in his best condition. He was sending condolences about DMX. He said that I feel everything about DMX. And this clip that DJ Self posted, X was positive, love to X. And in the days that came after that, Black Rob revealed that he was homeless. He was battling some health issues, including kidney failure. Kidney failure is a serious thing. Baltimore club music legend Miss Tony, Big Tony, passed from kidney failure. And I have seen what that does to the body, and we see that with Black Rob. So DJ Self, shout out to DJ Self. But Black Rob said that he had been dealing with this for 5 years, had 4 strokes. I don't know what to tell you. This is crazy. This is hard. Black Rob admitted in the video, I don't got no house to live in, he said. Maybe an apartment. Me and my man be trying to get together. I'm telling you, man, this is crazy. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? That was words from Black Rob, the rapper, R.I.P. Black Rob. And so kidney failure occurs when your kidneys lose the ability to filter waste from your blood. And also it almost poisons yourself. The excess toxic backup in your body, definitely negatively affecting your health and all of that. It's really a sad thing. There's often little to no symptoms. A person who has it in those early stages of that. But Black Rob, we're going to do a retrospective of him later on today. But I just wanted to get on here and talk about that. RIP. A lot of records out there. A lot of you younger listeners and viewers may not be familiar with Black Rob. He was definitely a standout member of Bad Boy. We're talking about that early 2000s. Bad Boys for Life was on that song. Just a lot of records. But we're gonna talk about that. I did meet Black Rob once in Mondawmin Mall in Baltimore. It was a record signing. So folks that don't, younger people, again, I got to go back. So we had these record stores. So in record stores, so picture like iTunes, Spotify, but it's in a mall. So Black Rob came to the FYE in Mondawmin Mall in Baltimore, and chopped it up with him for a while. This is about 2001, and so he's doing signing, and this was a real good time for him. And he was just a wild guy. But like I said, shout out to the family and friends and everybody affected by this. Hip hop as a whole, mourning the loss of another rapper, and Black Rob definitely did not get his just due. Underrated, underpaid, and there's been a lot online about Diddy. Of course, there's pressure. Black Rob was an artist on Bad Boy, had his success on Bad Boy, and a lot of artists feel that they were not paid what they should have been paid from Bad Boy. And people focus on Diddy a lot of times. Bad Boy was signed to Arista for distribution and signed to other labels after that. So Diddy had his own contract, and then he paid his artist, and we can talk about that another day. But whatever contract the artist signed is what they signed, right? But it's really sad to see many of the artists from Bad Boy not doing well. But if you look at artists on a whole, not just Bad Boy artists, you look at artists from yesteryear, pick your label. There are many artists that are not doing good. It's not only Bad Boy, former Bad Boy artists that are having hard times, if that is what they are having. And you also got to look at how artists spent their money, right? But this is not the time to go in on Diddy or go in on any any record labels or imprints or any of that. And it's easy when an artist is not on top to look back and after a run of just trashing hotels, spending their money on crazy stuff, throwing it in a strip club, to then come back and try to do some accounting with the record company, because Diddy has been able to consistently go forward and always make deals, however you feel about them. But that's him. I mean, let's look at 50 Cent, right? Let's look at 50 Cent. G-Unit artists, former artists, are they doing better than former Bad Boy artists? I don't know. I mean, 50 has been able to continue to reinvent himself, as Diddy has reinvented himself. But when you look at an artist, their lifespan in many cases, which is why we look at some of the greats, the actual career span, let me say the career span of the artist is not that long. So you need to get what you can get. Some artists last a long time. Jay-Z lasted a long time. But if you look at some of the Rockefeller artists, you talk about a rapper like Emil. Does anybody remember Emil? Emil worked a regular job, and there's many artists that work a regular job that had high visibility from a major label at one point in time. But we don't focus on those. But people really focus on Diddy, because he's a black guy, and they say he didn't pay the artist. But in many artists, that was a standard contract. Standard. Many artists didn't get paid. It's just that Diddy was someone and is someone who's flashy and carries it, how he carries it. So a lot of people looking at him like, oh, you ain't pay your artists. Now, how you going to be out here talking about major corporations not paying black people or standing by black people, and you didn't pay your artists? Valid point. And he probably paid them per the contract, right? And maybe the contract wasn't good, but if he paid them per the contract and they signed the contract, what are we fussing at Diddy about again? I mean, that was the contract. Just tuning in, Diamond K in the morning on the all new radioonfire.com. We're talking about, I ventured off into talking about Diddy, but rapper Black Rob passing away. And we definitely want to say rest in peace, rest in power to a rapper who he was troubled. He was troubled. I really think that, especially in that time, Black Rob had Whoa and a lot of other songs. He had a good run. It could have been better, and Bad Boy, played a big part in that. Obviously, I mean, if you want to talk about Diddy, maybe taking the spotlight from a lot of his artists, you can say that. There's a lot of things you can say about it, but the past is the past, and we can't change the past. Diamond K in the morning. Of course, new episodes drop weekdays 8 a.m. and we rebroadcast throughout the day. Of course, I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. In addition to that 8 a.m. program, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. Hit that notification bell so you get an alert whenever we go live. Black Rob is he going to go down as a top 10 great rapper? No, but he was a very, very good artist, and he had a hell of a run. Now, the end definitely did not go the way we wish that it went. People were putting pressure on Diddy to reach out. Black Rob actually had a GoFundMe page. Now, people want to. I got to go back to it again. You want to say, "Oh, Diddy should have did this. Diddy should have did that." Okay, Black Rob had his own, habits with the street and all that kind of stuff. Different things he was doing, and if he blew his money, the money that he had, and he. Now, I told you when I met him in 2001 in Mondawmin, he was wild then. He was wild, right? Everybody was wild, but he was very wild. He was very wild. But I know that it's going to be this whole thing that's going to come down, and people are going to be looking at Diddy or pointing a finger at Diddy. You did this or you didn't do that. And that it started to resurface when we saw Black Rob in the hospital. It was a lot of concerns there, and people like, what is going on? Why isn't Diddy taking care of his artists? Black Rob is not an artist on Bad Boy anymore. Does this mean he's supposed to take care of him for the rest of his life? I mean, it's sad, and I am sad about it. I'm sad, and we haven't even DMX. His funeral is going to be on the 24th of April. That hasn't even happened yet. A whole bunch of tributes for DMX, and DMX obviously one of the all-time greats, but Black Rob, I mean, we were hoping that he was going to get well. We were hoping that he was going to recover. Many people didn't even know what was going on with him. There were a lot of prayers out there for him, and as I said, best known, Black Rob best known for that 2000 hit Whoa, and that was a big record out here. Now, I understand that it peaked at 41 on the Billboard Hot 100. But let me say this. Just because it peaked at 43 on the Billboard Hot 100, that does not reflect how big that record was in the streets, in the clubs. Now, the digital scene, it wasn't even on like that yet. All right. It wasn't no Facebook at this time. Wasn't no Instagram. Wasn't no Twitter. Was none of that. You had mixtapes. You had mixed CDs. You had nightclubs. And you had the radio. And you had record stores. And that's how the music got out there. And this record, from someone who was in the clubs at that time, actively working in clubs as a DJ, and in record stores, this Black Rob record called Whoa was big. Just missing the top 40, but it was a big record. So Black Rob 51, 52 years old, suffered a stroke, a mild stroke, 2015. And, it is sad. It is sad. Right. So, in 2015, Black Rob did an interview on Sway in the Morning, talked about how the stroke that he had affected his lifestyle choices. And it's nothing like a health scare or health incident that kind of gets you back on the right track. So Black Rob said at the time, 2015 on Sway in the Morning, that it ain't no drugs. Lately, I had high blood pressure, he said in 2015. Being that I have that takes a lot out of a brother. Going on tour, you don't even know, Black Rob said. This is a real serious thing. I had a stroke. Yes, I had a stroke. I got over that. It's been high blood pressure and trying to stay on top of this thing. So he told Sway in the Morning. So being on top, it's hard. I got over it. After the stroke, I was in the wind. I came out of it. It's hard, but I can do it, Black Rob said. I had to change my health regimen and how I eat, he said. That's it. I'm exercising and trying to keep it up. I don't drink no more. That's right. They was telling me that I had to stop. Every time I come out, I drink. I just got tired of it, Black Rob said in 2015. Now I'm back. I'm working against that and trying to be the best thing that I can be. And it's hard. I mean, you can hear in those words. And if you get a chance, look up that interview, Black Rob on Sway in the Morning 2015. He actually broke down. He broke down and there was tears, and it was a struggle, and you could see that this guy was really going through it, and he knew what he needed to do. He said it. He said what he needed to do. And, it is it's just sad. The video that I saw last week was very just disheartening. But it's important. It's important that we, when we see people that are sick, we see people that are not doing the best they can do, to not just become desensitized. I mean, it's a pandemic, so we see a lot of sick people, but we can't become desensitized to what's going on. So a lot of these rappers and entertainers and so-called famous people go through it. Yeah, so definitely want to send healing energy to anybody going through stuff. But as I said, Black Rob has historically struggled with high blood pressure, and that definitely a contributing factor to his health. He also said, Black Rob, that this is 2015, was taking 10 pills a day to keep his condition under control. This is back in 2015. And of course, he did not have health insurance. He did not have health insurance, which comes back to Diddy. And a lot of people are saying, bad boy, why didn't you take care of your artist? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? At what point does it shift from the label that you were on at one point in time? Like, how long is the label responsible for you? How long is the label responsible for you? And so DJ Self really breaking the news, and he said that, Lord knows I tried to get help. This is DJ Self talking. Self said that, I'm sad to say RIP to Black Rob, passed away in the hospital in Atlanta. And as I said, Black Rob, definitely one of my favorites on Bad Boy. Now, DJ Self also broke the news about the rapper's health and his condition last week posted that video that went viral of him sending his condolences. Mark Curry, another former Bad Boy rapper, and wrote songs that probably words that Diddy rapped during the time. He revealed that the former Bad Boy recording artist Black Rob passed away. Also, he also revealed that Diddy had reached out to Black Rob. Now, this is in an attempt to kind of get in front of some of the bad publicity that he's going to get. And let me say this: he's going to get bad publicity. Diddy, he's going to get bad publicity. Black Rob, real name Robert Ross. Robert Ross took to IG to tell fans that he was okay, but tragically, the illness has taken his life faster than anybody had imagined. Mark Curry, who was on that Bad Boy compilation, he's a talented rapper. But Mark Curry had been providing some updates on Black Rob's situation on his IG page. And he revealed that Black Rob was supposed to undergo dialysis after fans launched this GoFundMe page to raise money to help the rapper with some of his medical bills and living arrangements. It comes back to Diddy again. So Diddy, if you don't know, Diddy is a part of a group of media folk who are trying to get some of these white-owned corporations to do business with black media. And so they're putting pressure on some of these big businesses. What does this have to do with Black Rob? I'll tell you. I'm gonna connect the whole thing. So many of these black media companies, Diddy, of course, connected to Revolt TV, and there are others. So Diddy has been putting out there that these corporations need to respect the black dollar and pay, do business with the people that do business with them. So they're talking about black people supporting these businesses, and then they want the same level of support to black media. So they're putting that out there and saying, pay us, that kind of thing. And then, of course, we see a Bad Boy artist, former Bad Boy artist, Black Rob, having medical bills, not having a stable living environment, trying to get money to get dialysis. And people are saying, well, you didn't pay your artists right. There's some black artists that you didn't pay. I think it is a fair critique, but it's complicated. It's complicated. If Diddy had given Black Rob $5 million back in 2000 when he was on Bad Boy, does that mean that Black Rob would have had that money now? I don't know. And then if he had spent all the money, would it be up to Diddy to give him more money? I don't know. I'm asking the question. So we talk about this GoFundMe, and listen, let me say this. It's sad that he didn't have health insurance. It's sad that the dialysis was required and couldn't be done. It's sad. All of that is sad. I'm just saying, I don't know whose fault that is. So the GoFundMe, they had a GoFundMe. It raised over $27,000, short of the goal. The goal was 60,000, 50,000 at the time of his passing. So they hadn't reached the goal. 51, 52. Solid legacy left from Black Rob. Solid legacy, respectable catalog, respectable rapper, definitely respectable. Did it say? When I say respectable, I mean a solid MC. And this is, people may remember, may not, but after 2000, after 1999, we got into the 2000s. Bad Boy was against the wall. Mace was gone. Biggie was gone. And Black Rob was like the next guy. He had the respect of the streets. He was the next guy. But the funny thing happened. Diddy wanted to be the guy too. Diddy wanted to be the guy too. It was very strange. I don't know if y'all remember that album that Diddy did by himself. It was kind of weird. Right? Flopped. And people thought Bad Boy was over. I thought Bad Boy was over. I mean, there's no Biggie, obviously. They had milked the whole Biggie thing. So this Biggie passed in 97. They milked the whole R.I.P. Biggie thing for 3 years. Now you're going to the 2000s, and they like, well, what else you going to do? Mace gone. Diddy thought he could be the man. People didn't believe him. So Diddy does an album which flops, and he comes back with a compilation and introduces some people. Black Rob, some others. Black Rob has his own album. G-Dep has an album. These are all artists that were down with him at the time. The aforementioned Mark Curry. It was a lot of things going on. You know, Black Rob, as I said, is going to go down and be remembered. So he released 4 albums over the course of his career. Life Story was the album that Woe was on. He had the Black Rob Report in 2005. So, but there were others. A lot of Bad Boy artists complained about just sitting for years and just not being promoted, not being pushed the way that they thought that they should be. Black Rob from Harlem featured on a variety of records. Bad Boy, Special Delivery, Monster in the Club, Special Delivery. Total Remix, What About Us, Faith's, Love Like Us, Mace's 24 Hours to Live, and others. But he didn't really get his shine until 2000. There was a when I talk about his being wild, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say this. When I met him in Mondawmin, right? This is so crazy. He stole something allegedly from a store in Mondawmin, and so they were. It was a lot. I'm just saying he was wild. And so there was a point. This is completely unrelated, but there was a point in his career which was interrupted by 6 years in prison. He did. And he was caught in a hotel room with some alleged stolen jewelry, like $6,000 worth, whatever. Went to prison, came out in 2010, delivered his album called Game Tested, Streets Approved, 2011. And so a lot of time had passed, 10 years, 10 years. I mean, as far as, when he had his height, right? Followed up by his final album, 2015, Genuine Article, which is what he was promoting on Sway in the Morning. He was doing a promo run on, on that album. But I am definitely sad as to how his end came. So Mark Curry says that Black Rob has a daughter, Ayanna Ross, Robert Ross Jr. Yeah. So yeah. The outpour of love from the hip hop community is going to come. And okay, so let me see comments. Okay, he said Puff. I mentioned Puff earlier, and that's what I need to talk about. I need to talk about Puff. Okay, I've mentioned Puff, and just tuning in, Diamond K in the morning on the all new radioandfire.com. Of course, the program is available on the WRF Radio app. Download WRF Radio, also Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, of course, Facebook, IGTV, YouTube.com/DJ Diamond K. So let me say this. Okay, I need to talk about Puff. Now, People got it confused, though. A lot of people get it confused. Okay, and so Black Rob, definitely want to say rest in peace, rest in power. Black Rob, born 1969. And a lot of artists are going to show love to Black Rob, and it is much deserved. It is much deserved. And so definitely want to respect his legacy, and we have respect for Black Rob's talent and all of that. So when they say that I need to talk about Diddy, I don't know what you want me to say about Diddy. Okay, I don't know what you want me to say about Diddy. Diddy, there was a period of time when Bad Boy Records ran the game. There was a period of time like that. And during that period of time, now looking back, many artists, former artists, have an issue with the way that they were paid. Many of the artists had that, right? You can go back to Motown. We can go to whether it's the Temptations, whether it's whoever you want to name, the Jackson 5. And I'm sure that if they are questioned about how Berry Gordy paid them, they would have an issue. They would take issue with it. They would take issue with it. And I mean, we can talk about Tupac, how he was paid when he was on death row. When you talk about Snoop, how he was paid when he was on death row before he went to No Limit. I'm sure when we look at how much money Tupac had in his bank account when he passed, a lot of artists are not paid. Okay, so I want people to understand the facade. As a DJ, I've seen and met a lot of artists. In the groups that I have promoted, the groups that I have produced and put out, opening for some of these national artists, I've rubbed shoulders with some of these people. They don't have the money that, and I'm talking about at the height of their careers. They didn't have the money that you thought that they had based on the music videos. A lot of this stuff was smoke and mirrors. So yes, I don't want you to think that I'm completely taking up for Diddy. I'm just saying that there's a deeper story than other than somebody's doing bad. If they used to be on Bad Boy, it's Diddy's fault. There's a deeper story than that. So we'll have to go into that another time, because I want to have a round table. I just don't want to just have me with my perspective, because I want to have a real roundtable conversation about this and about Bad Boy and all of that. But Diddy's former rapper, Black Rob, passing away. Diddy wants it put out there that he reached out to Black Rob. He wants that put out there. He wants people to know that he reached out. Now, could he have been more helpful? I mean, you're saying he just should have just given him some money because they worked together in the past and he has it? Is that really what it is? So I don't know. I don't know how long. And if we're going to hold Diddy, if we're going to say that these rappers who have reached or come on hard times financially, if we're going to say that if they were signed to Bad Boy, that it is Diddy's responsibility to teach them how to manage their money and all that kind of stuff, we got to hold everybody to that same standard. There are NBA stars or NFL stars who mismanage their money, go broke, have a bad ending to their life or fall on bad times. We don't hold the NFL responsible. If they're a former trailblazer, we don't say the trailblazers are responsible. You just look at the person, right? But for some reason, I guess because Diddy is so shiny suit or he's so flamboyant that it's Diddy's fault, or we just jump on the bandwagon because everybody's saying Diddy, that it's just Diddy's fault. I have no problem if we're going to say that Diddy has responsibility to his rappers or whatever, or don't be talking pro-black and pay us if you didn't pay your artists. Okay, he would probably do things differently now than he did things then. Diddy was not the end all be all. Diddy, while he portrayed this boss image, Clive Davis was in his pockets, and Bad Boy got what came from Arista from the distribution of Bad Boy Records. Let me say that. But it's not only Diddy. So Diddy is the only person with a bad contract that they didn't have to sign. But he signed the contract, right? Now, yes, Diddy could have done something, and he can, and maybe he's going to do something for the family. I'd like to hope that he would. But at what point does responsibility go to the artist and how you live your life? That was a moment in time. So what about, so, you know, the amount of time that Black Rob was on Bad Boy, all the time after that, what about that? The time he was on Bad Boy, okay. I get you. Maybe he has some royalty checks coming to his family that should be due. Okay. I get that, but for us to just blame Diddy. Faith Evans gets locked up fighting with Stevie J. Oh, that's Diddy's fault. Total, has their money ain't right. Oh, that's Diddy's fault. 112 said, we only got 2 members now. We got to pick up some dancers. We're mad. That's Diddy. Everything's Diddy's fault. You know what I mean? Just at a certain point, there's responsibility. That's just like Kirk Franklin's son. Just, he's a grown man and just blaming Kirk Franklin for whatever is going on in his life. Okay, at a certain point, yeah, maybe your life was messed up at a certain point, but when do you take responsibility? To me, it's just getting old that we blame Diddy for everything. Right? Beanie Siegel was blaming Jay-Z. It's not Jay-Z's fault. At a certain point, you got to do your own thing. Memphis Bleek, what is Memphis Bleek going to blame Jay-Z for? I didn't blow up. Jay-Z is your fault. If Memphis Bleek, and I don't know, how Memphis Bleek is doing as far as his finances, but if Memphis Bleek is not in a good financial spot, is it Jay-Z's fault right now in 2021? Is it Jay-Z's fault? So I don't know. So what does it say? It's not Diddy's fault. I agree. It's not Diddy's fault. I agree. That's my man Conway. Conway, we gotta get you on this roundtable discussion that we're going to have. I think that I want to have some, and you have a lot of yes, Black Rob did have some health concerns and some health issues, quite obviously, and but I think that the bigger thing is whenever we see a Bad Boy artist not doing good, we go back to what some disgruntled former artists said about Diddy. And that just becomes the narrative. And Diddy doesn't really speak about it. I mean, we can talk about Mace and that whole thing. And that's a conversation for another day. But when the artist is doing good, is that Diddy too? Mace has had a couple churches in Atlanta. Is that because of Diddy? No, only the bad things are because of Diddy. Because it's Bad Boy. I get it now. because it's Bad Boy. Just tuning in, Diamond K in the morning on the all new RadioOnFire.com. Of course, on social media, I'm at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. Yep. And so set it up, and you okay? Definitely, we're gonna do it on a digital thing. So I'm gonna talk with you offline, Conway. We definitely want to set that up. I want to do the ASAP. So we're talking Black Rob. And I just think that he didn't get his just due for various reasons. He just did not get his just due. I personally think that had he been on another label, he might have got more shine. But what Black Rob had to deal with is the fact that Diddy wanted to be the star rapper on his label, even though he could not rap that good. And so when when your CEO wants to be, and I hate to sound like Suge Knight, but wants to be all in the video, wants to be all in the song, and then it got to the point where he had these rappers writing his songs, and then he sang the songs, and then people calling him out, and he had that famous line where he said, "I don't write rhymes, I write checks." You know what I mean? Just really putting out there the fact that he couldn't write, he didn't want to write, and that's just what it was. So the fact that Black Rob is on a record label that the CEO wants to be the biggest rapper on the label definitely had to be frustrating, and him definitely going to jail was an issue. Him definitely going to jail was an issue. And so that's definitely a problem. Conway, you acting like you want to get on the show right now, because I could put the link in the comment section. You could just if you're on your phone, you could just jump on here if you want. You just let me know. I'll put the link in the comments and you could just jump on. Yeah, so definitely him going to jail was a big issue. Just tuning in, Black Rob, the rapper, former Bad Boy rapper, passing away at the age of 51. It is definitely sad that he was homeless. It's definitely sad that he had to start this GoFundMe to help pay for medical bills. So what folks are saying, the folks that are going at Diddy are saying that they have an issue with the fact that Black Rob was homeless and had to go start this GoFundMe page. And then he says, they're saying after he knew billionaires and millionaires, says a lot about many people, but also the system in this country. Okay. So, okay. Oh yeah. That's it. You do that family thing, Conway. We're going to get Conway on here at another time, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be, I know we're going to be debating and yelling and talking crazy when that happens. We can do that sometime in the next couple of days. We're going to have Conway on here and some other outspoken folks, and we just talk about this music thing. I always enjoy having those kind of conversations. So definitely gone too soon, Black Rob. Prayers to his family and friends. Definitely want to remember Black Rob. A lot of things. Just heartbroken to report this. Another rapper gone. DMX gone. Man, it's just, I don't know if this generation right now understands how significant it is. Like 20 years from now, are there rappers in this generation that we're going to remember? Drake, I think Drake's definitely going to be one. What are there going to be other rappers that we remember in this generation? I'm sure that there are a few scattered. And I'm not going to get on here and be, the rappers from my generation are so much better. But there's a lot of factors that play in. How we consume music is different now. I think that the time when you had to physically go to the store to purchase something, I think that you became more invested in those artists. Now you just pull up your phone, listen to somebody, and the investment is very, very limited. Your investment in the actual artist is very limited. Yeah. But Black Rob is going to be one of those rappers that are remembered for DJs from a certain time period. A certain time period. A lot of you youngsters don't even know about Black Rob like that. A lot of you youngsters don't know. Had a smooth flow, gritty. His bars were there for those that even value bars. Conway says that our generation is way better than anything after that. I mean, we don't want to just completely discredit the current generation. There's some in this generation that are good. Yeah. Okay, so Conway says, man, just being able to read the credits on your CD. Credits were so, oh man, you always want to know, like, who produced this record? What did they sample on this? Who are they giving a shout out to? All these things were important. Now, people don't need, I guess you just go to social media and do that now. But this time period was, man, it was really a golden time for hip hop. Golden time. And unfortunately, we have lost another rapper from a great time in music. Great time in music. So yeah, that's what it is. And so Mark Curry was talking about that. So actually what it is that when we talk about the personal life of Black Rob had 4 children, or has 4 children. And so we talked about legal issues. We talked about his health, and kidney failure is what it is, sadly. But I definitely want to know your thoughts as far as Diddy. Definitely hit me up on social media at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. If I'm talking crazy, let me know. If this is all Diddy's fault, let me know. And don't tell me just because he has a lot of money that he's supposed to take care of these rappers. I mean, unless it's really what you believe, but don't, I mean, you can't really think that, can you? That's it. That's all you got. He has a lot of money, so you're supposed to take care of these rappers that you know. Diamond K in the morning, as I said, available on the WRF Radio app, and download WRF Radio. Also on radioonfire.com. Get breaking news and adult conversation covering topics that are important to the Black culture. Visit radioonfire.com for our original podcast, radio, and TV programs. You want to support Diamond K in the morning? Very easy to do that. Very easy to do that. Via Cash App, $ DJ Diamond K, paypal.me/radio on fire, DJ Diamond K at gmail.com, or visit radioonfire.com. I'm able to deliver our news, our views on Diamond K in the morning because of our listeners and our amazing sponsors. Of course, your donations. Diamond K in the morning, powered by the people, and we always need your support. So before I get out of here, I have always supported entrepreneurship and independent businesses. Here in the program, we are going to be spotlighting businesses that you need to know about. So go to Instagram.com/The Diamond K Show. DM me the IG pages of businesses that we should spotlight on the show. So I definitely, in the time of a pandemic, the way that you do your business has got to continue to change, or else you're going to be out of business. So we want to continue to spotlight mom and pop stores, mom and pop operations, indie businesses, small businesses. I'm not talking about big corporations. I'm talking about regular people that have a passion, or people that are doing a business. So hit me up on Instagram.com/The Diamond K Show. DM me some of these businesses. It can be your business, some business that you know about, some business that you go to. You go to this particular hair salon and they are really doing it. DM me, copy me a link to their IG page so we can shout out some of these businesses. You go to a barbershop, the barbershop you go to is, you know what I mean? DM me. Let me know so we can talk about some of these businesses. I think that we have got to continue to support each other, one another, what's going on. So we are going to be supporting some of these businesses, some of these entrepreneurs, and promoting them on the show. So as I said, DM me on IG at the Diamond K Show so we can continue to do that. Of course, I'm going to be back later on today with some more updates, and we're definitely going to be talking about some retrospective looks at DMX, Black Rob, Bad Boy Records, a lot of those things. We're gonna do some retrospective looks and all of that. So, as always, take care of yourself and definitely stay tuned. RadioOnFire.com, your man Demi K.